Well, hey there, I am Arthur Morris, Birds is Art, and one thing is for sure, I can teach you to be a better bird photographer. All I need is a chance. I knew about Stick Marsh for 25 years, 23 years living in Florida, never went. People told me you need a boat. I went there with the boat and I said, geez, the last thing you need is a boat. So the last 4 or 5 years I've been going quite a bit and the place is amazing. Let's see, this is the 300-2.8 right there, Sony 300-2.8 with the A1 Mark II. Amazing stuff. So almost everything with the 300-2.8. This little palm warbler was right there. This will make a nice crop. Part of this program is going to be about seeing the crop while you're editing and imagining the image optimization so you know if you should save a picture or not. Breeding plumage palm warbler. This was from our first visit. I went with Anita North 3 times, 3 days. We went on the 9th, which is the 7th, the 9th, and the 15th, I believe. Yes, the 7th, and 9th, and 5th. So I'm always exposing way to the right. You see that? This one is fine and raw digger. And if you're worried that it looks too light, it just gives us all the information and less noise. So here's the before, and there is the optimized. Notice no shadows anywhere on the underwings. That's what I'm going for. And a nice crop. Lost this little green thing here. This is the only optimized image you'll see in this slide program. All the rest are raw files. And this is the 300-2.8. So if you use Sony and you're going to buy a 300-2.8 or an A1 Mark II, you can use my Bedford link or my B&H link. You need to write me for instructions. 3% back on your credit card, a B&H industry giant. And then you get my settings for free along with instructions on how to put them on your A1 Mark II. And for the 300-2.8, we offer a lens guide. So remember, raw files, and what I'm looking for is no shadows. Even a little tiny shadow like that bothers me a bit. And here you go, what about all this stuff? This will crop to a nice vertical. Easy to lose all of this or keep some if you like. Nice, I think 2 similars. Boy, this one I like, the Carmen wing patch. And this one I like the more dynamic look. And we'll soften up this the vegetation. It was a floating island. And I think that's 3. And every one, virtually every one with the A1 Mark II, razor sharp to the pixel level on the bird's eye. This is 1200 millimeters. I took a walk to the Rookery Island. Interesting enough, a breeding plumage great egret with a spoonbill. And then one morning, inexplicably, my lens fogged up. It got so warm. But this thing will process beautifully and still have a touch of the foggy look. And lots of times when I'm sitting on my little milk crate with the 300-2.8, I'll set up the 600 to my right on a tripod with the 1.4 so I can do some headshots and try even for flight headshots. And then back to the 300-2.8. Of course, I needed lots more light for the exposure here. A 60th of a second with the A1 Mark II has like 8-stop image stabilizer. And this is actually the bird's wing vibrating as he's displaying. I love doing blurs before the sun comes up. I'm not necessarily, I don't demand a sharp eye. You can just darken that eye a little and it'll give the appearance of being sharp. Maybe a vertical for this one. Slightly angled away. That's the problem when the birds take off. They're heading for the island, which is 45 degrees angled away. Lots of incoming stuff, 300-2.8. Let's see, ISO 6400. And they process up beautifully with my double noise reduction technique. Here it's a complete miracle to get the bird's eye through the vegetation. The A1 Mark II did it. This one, oh, I thought I saved another one. Maybe it's a different series. Love the flat look of the bill coming right at us. And amazingly, the A1 Mark II grabbed the eye. Little fishing boat over here. We'll lose that with a quick mask. This one is perfect for a vertical. Another vertical, and easy to lose these guys with content to wear fill. I use the patch tool to grab them and move them to clear water. Can add some canvas at the top. I don't mind the green. Same thing here, lose these in a second. All 300-2.8, so it's probably getting a little brighter. Now I'm down to ISO 3200, and you see it's still exposed to the right. This will be the patch tool and drag it, and it's gone, and leave the green in the upper right and crop from here. And another nice frame, and a third frame in a row. All of them Razor City on the eyes. And here, easy to add canvas right, crop from the left. And here I might actually leave the bird and lose this, leave this bird interesting, and get rid of the head of a grackle. Easy to lose this bird completely, and this guy. Patch tool, boom, pull it, done, or the remove tool, either one will be fine. The earliest of light. One of the problems when you're shooting at Stick Marsh early is that some birds are in sun and then they go in the shade and then back in the sun. So I should have mentioned there'll be a link to the Stick Marsh site guide service where you get a couple of emails and you know everything there is to know about it. I wrote it 3-4 years ago, and every word of it is still true and valuable if you've never been. And even if you have been. Beautiful bird with the black on the back of the neck. Some of them have pink there. So these are in the same series, same bird. Beautiful, beautiful. Razor sharp. And there's my 840 millimeter, 600 and the 1.4. Doing the head portraits. And I'll do flight incoming, and I love the distant background. This will crop nicely to a pano. And look at the sharpness. And this one, my plan here is to do a vertical crop of the incoming bird here and add some canvas on the top because it's so friggin' sharp. Notice you get no depth of field shooting these lenses wide open. This is full frame right at minimum focusing distance, just barely fit them in. And I think that was the last, on the 9th, the last picture I took. And then we were here this morning, the 15th, start off doing some blurs. And every once in a while, at a 40th or a 50th, this one's at a 40th of a second, you can get the eye pretty sharp. And don't worry about the exposure. And we'll show you just for example, I'm a big fan of Raw Digger for learning exposure. Edit photo with Raw Digger. We sell a guide for that. We come here. It's actually a little bit over on the back of the neck, but they're all in the green channel, so that will recover nicely. And option H gets you, gets you to email. Last thing we want to do. Anyway, that'll process up beautifully. Incoming, and I'll use a Gaussian blur. I'll remove this bit, this bit, this bit, and then I'll soften up the grasses. And now I went to sharp. Check it out, 8,000 ISO, exposed to the right, almost no noise. And the double noise reduction technique that I teach in Digital Basics video series, Digital Basics 3, makes ISO 8000 a piece of cake. Another one in the series, another one, that orchestra conductor pose I love as vertical. And then this one I put in just to show you what I don't like. When the bird hits the green. Could do a crop from here and here and lose the rock. Just ridiculous numbers of sharp, perfect images here. Easy to lose that with the patch tool and drag it. Easy to lose this stuff here with the remove tool. And this is sort of neat. These birds are going, we want that stick. And believe me, it ain't easy to fight through the vegetation when they're picking up the sticks. It's not always going to grab the eye, nor would I expect any camera to do it. Beautiful. How sharp is sharp? Razor. Let's go back to full screen. One after another. 4 in a row, every one perfect. 5 in a row, every one perfect. Another one, the big stick, killed me that he's behind the rock. But I'll lose this and this, do a galleon. That'll probably be about it. Incoming, I love that it's got the bill shadow is entirely on the wing. Another weird one, a young bird with the brown wing tips, the primary tips. And another frame, oh my Lord, which one do you pick? And this is like the converted one you saw in the beginning. It's going to be lovely. Oh, can you believe the pastel backgrounds with the pink? Amazing. So this is still the 300-2.8. Now I'm at a 4000 at 1250. ISO's dropping, shutter speed's going up. Easy to lose the bird on the left and crop from here. No shadows, that's what I'm going for. No shadows on the underwings. Another flat flight at 840. And then here, this is a young bird, maybe 2 years old. I'll get rid of these specular highlights and probably Gaussian blur this whole background. A nice parallel head angle. And this was a young bird, ugly and dirty. And he's practicing grabbing a stick. And then more flight at 840 millimeters. How the A1 Mark II gets the eye on these tight headshots? Total insanity. No, my God. This one will need to be rotated. You take the ruler tool and you draw a line through the center of the pupils, and that'll rotate it a degree or two counterclockwise. Same bird. Oh, this one I love. Getting rid of this, I believe it's another bird. I don't know what else it could be. So here will be okay with the remove tool, but when you get down to these feathers here, it'll be really difficult. And I'll lose this blue stuff. Otherwise, I just love it. This one, not so much. He's grabbing at the stick and his head is angled slightly away. Amazing autofocus on the eye. He's grabbing the stick. He's let it go. He's got it again. This one might go to a square to get rid of this thing here. And incredible sharpness of the A1 Mark II 51 megapixel files. Remember, if you get an A1 Mark II, you better use my link, or else you're going to have to pay $226 to get my settings. Use my link, doesn't cost you a penny, and you get it for free. And by the way, it's really difficult to get your hands on an A1 Mark II. If you like your best shot, shoot me a message or an email, and I have a slight inside track that might get you one sooner rather than later. More incoming flight, more picking up the sticks, more picking up the sticks, more picking up the sticks. Sort of love this one. The green's just in the right spot, perfect head angle. More incoming flight. Oh, too sharp to delete. Not easy framing these birds incoming, but I'll make a pano out of this, probably from here. Maybe take a little bit off of there, put the leg in the corner. Then everybody got excited. There was a beautiful spoonbill bathing past the end of the ramp. I hated all of the water hyacinth in the bottom, so I don't know what I'm going to be doing when I optimize these. Probably losing some of it. Then he went a little more in the clear, just beautiful wing position. So here I'm hand holding the 600. So I missed a bunch of wing flaps because I was too long and I couldn't hand hold, couldn't keep the lens raised as long as I needed to. So it would have been a perfect spot for the 200 to 600. Then he took a walk, so I'm going to crop from here, and I'm going to lose every bit of vegetation. Same thing, this is going to need a pano crop from here. Too beautiful to do otherwise. Probably the same there. Then everybody was pretty much left. There were still some birds coming in. So I sat back a little and I added the teleconverter to the 300. I'm sorry, this is the 600 alone. And then more bathing. Yeah, I can lose this one easily and crop here. So this was a better chance. And every exposure perfect with Sony Zebras. And of course, I am not sponsored at all by Sony. They don't want to know who I am. You gotta love it. And really sweet here. Getting rid of that will take some work. Getting rid of that, a little less work. But look how beautiful and how sharp. Still hand holding the 600. The Carmen bars. This will make a nice vertical. Now I believe I've gone to the 300, 2.8 and the 1.4 because I wanted to stay back. Some people were sitting back. I didn't want to go in front. And again, striving for no underwing shadows. No underwing shadows. I kept a bunch from this series. I hated this reflection of a sign, so this will come to a vertical or a square with the beautiful powder blue background. Could always flop the background, but I'm not a fan of this stuff either. And wings raised. Thought I saved two of them. I only put one in the show. And then one taken off is the 300 and the 1.4. Yep. Amazing combination for flight. So I actually have some trips to Sebastian. Excuse me, wrong place. I actually have some open days for Stick Marsh between now and April 8th. Best to get in touch by email. I'll put the email address, or you could always find it on the blog. I'll surely put the blog address. And I have not even announced the Bald Eagle trips for next year, and they're almost sold out. So if you'd like to get to Homer with me, you better get in touch. Mucho fasto. Anyway, I'm going to run down to the pier and take a walk and do my exercise. I've already hit the pool today. And I'll finish by saying, man, I'm going to be 79 in June on Flag Day, June 14th. And I've never been so actively involved in photography. I've been photographing almost every day since mid-October. Great trip to San Diego. Bob Eastman came by. We did Sebastian Inlet. Oh, my Lord. If you want to come with me next year for the Ospreys Catching Fish, get in touch. I have the Airbnb. It's communal living with tons and tons of education, Photoshop, image review. Love you much. Enjoy. I'm going to go for my walk and watch the golf. Bye-bye.